Are you struggling to boost your IELTS speaking score? The secret lies in crafting answers that are clear, confident, and well structured. Welcome to Learn English with MK. Today, we're diving into an essential tool to help you succeed in your IELTS speaking test, the IELTS Speaking Checklist. This checklist will help you monitor your answers, organize your thoughts, and improve your fluency and coherence in speaking. Whether you're preparing for IELTS or just looking to become more fluent in everyday English conversations, this is definitely for you. Our goal today is to equip you with the practical IELTS speaking checklist for Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3 of the test. This checklist will serve as a guide to practice, self-assess, and refine your speaking skills for a higher score. I encourage you to use this checklist regularly. In fact, each time you answer an IELTS question, record yourself doing so, listen back, and evaluate how you did using this very checklist. So, Part 1 is about answering general questions and covers familiar topics such as home, family, work, studies, and interests. For this section, focus on avoiding repetition, using synonyms, and minimizing long pauses in order to improve your fluency. You will see that we keep coming back to these 3 points: avoiding repetition, using synonyms, and minimizing long pauses. Let's have a look at the Part 1 checklist. Did you produce 2 to 3 sentences? Why 2 to 3 sentences, you may ask? Let's move on to the second point. Did you organize your ideas? We mean, did you answer the question that was asked, and did you explain yourself? There you have it. That's where the 2 to 3 sentences come from. Next, did you avoid repeating words? Did you use synonyms if the topic is on food or healthy food? You cannot keep talking about healthy food by answering all the Part 1 questions. You need to change and use synonyms. This will show the examiner that your vocabulary is rich. And last point, did you pause or hesitate unnaturally? This is important to avoid because it will lower your score. Again, let's look through these points on the checklist. Did you produce 2 to 3 sentences? Did you organize your ideas by answering the question and explaining your answer? Did you avoid repeating words? Did you use synonyms? And did you pause or hesitate unnaturally? Let's have a look at some practice questions for you. Let's talk about food and restaurants. Do you prefer eating at home or dining out, and why? What kind of restaurants are popular in your country? Have you ever tried a foreign cuisine that you really liked? There you have it, a few questions for Part 1. Remember, this is a tool for you to use. Answer, record your answers, and ask yourself the above questions from the checklist. Great, moving on to Part 2. For Part 2, you have a cue card in the way of a question. You will need to give a structured and detailed response. Here, your goal is to speak fluently for 2 minutes, covering all points on the task card. To achieve this, take quick, clear notes before speaking. You can check out this previous video on how to effectively do this. Now, for the Part 2 checklist. 1. Did you make good notes using keywords or point form? 2. Did you speak for at least 2 minutes? Please use up this time and don't be shy. 3, did you cover all the points, the main point, as well as all the sub-questions? 4, did you use linking words to connect your ideas smoothly? 5, did you avoid repeating words? 6, did you use synonyms? And lastly, did you pause or hesitate unnaturally? Now it's your turn. Let's look at our part 2 practice question. Describe a restaurant you have visited and enjoy. You should say where the restaurant is located, what type of food it serves, who you went with, and explain why you liked the restaurant. Remember, here you have 1 minute to prepare and 1 to 2 minutes to respond. Great. Looking at previous tips and today's tips, you have responded to the question, recorded yourself, and now are ready to see how you did by using this checklist. Good luck. If you're still unsure about part 2 answering techniques, don't worry. We covered model answers in previous videos on the IELTS Speaking series. Check it out for more detailed examples. Now on to part 3. This part is more about developing your ideas further and builds on the ideas from part 2, so it requires deeper analysis and discussion. This is your chance to express your opinions, give examples, and organize your responses clearly. And just a great tip for you when answering, follow this structure. Firstly, your introduction, then give your opinion or your view, and then explain your opinion or your view. Next, elaborate by providing an example, and lastly, summarize with a conclusion. This ensures that you have a well-developed response. Now, onto the checklist for part 3. Did you produce 5 to 7 sentences? Again, you may say, why 5 to 7 sentences? Let's have a look as to why. Next, did you organize your ideas? Do you have an argument or view? Did you explain it? Do you have an example? And do you have a conclusion? That's where the 5 to 7 will come from. Third, did you provide detailed explanation and examples? Fourth, did you avoid repeating words? And 5, did you use synonyms? And lastly, did you pause or hesitate unnaturally? I'm sure you knew what was coming up after that, right? So we've said it again: avoid repeating, use synonyms, and avoid long pauses. As for the practice question for part 3, first one, how has restaurant culture changed over the years? Do you think fast food is more popular than traditional cuisines, and why? Third, what factors make a restaurant successful? You have now answered all these 3-part questions, recorded your responses, and are checking the answers against the checklist. And don't worry again, if you are unsure about the part 3 technique, we have covered this in a previous video. Check it out here. We've covered a powerful IELTS speaking checklist to help you improve your fluency, coherence, and confidence in all 3 parts of the test. Now, revisit previous videos for model answers and detailed explanations. Use this checklist as a habit. Practice, record yourself, and self-evaluate. Do tell me, what important points did you pick up from today's lesson? Let me know in the comment section. Keep practicing and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I look forward to having you next time for another English practice video.